This generation has brought a refocus on quality single-player experiences, and the PS4 has a stacked lineup of them in 2017. And in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 upcoming PS4 games in 2017. Let's get right into this. Number 10, Yakuza 0. While Yakuza hasn't been a main fixture to the PlayStation's library, Sega is looking to change that, and that's continuing with the release of Yakuza 0, which is a prequel to the main series. And while the Yakuza games aren't amazing open-world adventures, many will draw comparisons to Grand Theft Auto, but expect something at a smaller scale. Yakuza does have a great setting and world design. Just keep in mind that this game was designed for both PS4 and PS3, so don't expect something technically outstanding, but it's still a game you should have your eye on. Yakuza 0 releases on January 24th. Number 9, Crash Bandicoot The Insane Trilogy. Crash Bandicoot is finally coming back, and while this isn't a brand new game, rather it's a collection of remakes of the first 3 games in the franchise, Crash Bandicoot, Cortex Strikes Back, and Warp, which are all considered terrific platformers. The game is running on the same engine that was used for Skylanders Imaginators, and while visually it obviously won't be at the level of a standard PS4 title, this is still something so many are looking forward to, and hopefully it leads to a new Crash Bandicoot game sometime in the future. We don't have an exact release date yet, but it comes sometime this year. Number 8, Detroit Become Human. The next Quantic Dream game is coming in Detroit Become Human, which has a very interesting premise. You take on the role of several characters, all of whom are androids, and just like any Quantic Dreams game, there will be several decisions and choices to make that shape the story and fates of every character. Quantic Dreams games are always very divisive. They are ambitious, some have turned out amazing, such as Heavy Rain, others not so much, like Beyond Two Souls. This one has a lot of potential, and hopefully that potential is realized.
What you did! You were designed to serve humans, not kill them! What was I designed to be? Their slave? Their toy? You're a machine you have to obey. Now put the gun down and let the hostage go. I've spent my life taking orders. Now it's my turn to decide.
Number 7, Gravity Rush 2. After nearly 5 years, Gravity Rush is finally getting a sequel, and Gravity Rush 2 this time around is being built ground up for the PlayStation 4 rather than the Vita. That's gonna give the developers a lot more options in what they can do with the game, but the gameplay will be largely similar, however with much more depth to it. Now there are 3 gravity styles each that play differently, and the world of the game will be far bigger, being around 2.5 times the size of the first game. Gravity Rush 2 releases on January 20th. Number 6, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. Ni no Kuni was one of the best Japanese RPGs that was released in the last decade, arguably the best. That game had great Studio Ghibli production, a fantastic cast of characters, an engaging world, and solid gameplay. Now we have the sequel in Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom, which we still don't know much about. We do know the story follows a king who is usurped from his castle and sets out on an adventure to reclaim it. The amazing production is intact and the game is currently scheduled for release this year.
What do you think you're doing? You'll take my little darlings with you, of course.
Kneel before the king of Ding Dong Down.
Number 5, NieR Automata. While Ni no Kuni is widely considered one of the best JRPGs of the last decade, NieR can be considered one of the more underrated. While that game wasn't amazing, it did have a very emotional story and excellent music. However, the gameplay was very lacking. NieR Automata is a spiritual successor being developed by Platinum Games, and being by Platinum, that gameplay issue will probably be remedied. The great music, however, is retained, and visually the game is stunning. There's already a demo available on the PlayStation Store, so make sure to check that out if you haven't. NieR Automata releases on March 7th. Number 4, Persona 5. Another highly anticipated JRPG is Persona 5, the first mainline entry in the series in over 8 years, and somehow in that 8-year gap, it seems like the popularity of the franchise has only increased. Maybe that's due to the excellent Persona 4 Golden, who knows, but Persona 5 is coming up and gamers are excited. For those of you that don't know, Persona is a hybrid of genres. On one hand, it's a dungeon crawling JRPG, and it does that part really well. On the other hand, you play as a transfer high school student living out your day-to-day life, going to school, socializing, joining clubs, etc. It actually blends very well and keeps the game very engaging at all times. And considering these games sometimes take over 100 hours to complete, the fact that it can remain engaging is very impressive. This one also looks quite dark in storytelling. Persona 5 releases on April 4th.
Are the strength born from one's heart?
No matter what it takes, I will bring you to justice!
I can feel it.
This is awesome! Now that I got this power, it's time for payback!
You're right. No more holding back.
Going all in on this plan is the only choice we got. I wonder who they'll bring justice to next. It's not just Japan anymore. The whole world's waiting to see the Phantom Thieves' next move.
Number 3, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Naughty Dog has become one of the top developers, arguably the top developer in all of gaming for the last decade. And they finished up their marquee franchise in Uncharted last year with Uncharted 4, however we still have Uncharted: The Lost Legacy to look forward to, which is a standalone DLC, where instead of playing as series star Nathan Drake, you take on the role of Chloe and her partner Nadine Ross. Naughty Dog promises that this will feature all of the hallmarks of the series, from the cinematic storytelling, exotic destinations, dynamic combat, etc. You can never complain about more Uncharted. This standalone DLC releases sometime this year.
Shit! Back up! Go on for back! No!
You're late. I thought you were a professional.
Oh, you should relax. You'll live longer.
Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is looking to be one of the most technically impressive console games, and that's to be expected. It's coming from Guerrilla Games, who have gotten the most out of the PlayStation's hardware with Killzone. Look at Shadowfall. Horizon is an open-world action-adventure game in a world dominated by mech-like creatures. You play as Aloy, a female hunter who sets out from her sheltered life and tackles that world. The game has some very interesting gameplay, with you being able to take parts from the creatures and use it in combat. And while technically this game is very impressive, all of the footage we've seen thus far has presumably been running on the PS4 Pro, so hopefully it runs well on the original console too. It releases on February 28th. Finally, number 1, God of War. God of War has been one of the most iconic PlayStation franchises for nearly 15 years. However, in recent years, it has gotten a bit redundant, and that's why this entry is so exciting. Dubbed just God of War, the game is considered a soft reboot set in the world of Norse mythology rather than the typical Greek mythology. Kratos returns as the lead character, however, he's older and now he has a son. The game seems more story-driven, a bit slower paced, and a shakeup that the series is needed. Kratos' son is also an integral part of the game, and he'll help in combat, traversal, exploration, and puzzle solving. Chances are he'll also play a major part in the story too. We still don't have an exact release date for God of War, but hopefully it's Sony's major holiday release this year.
It is time! I will bring it down! You will kill it!
So that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 upcoming PS4 single-player games. What do you think? Which single-player games are you the most excited for? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.